What's up, guys? Welcome back. I'm inside today. I saw a video. That I really, it's a perfect springboard or segue for me to kind of explain to all the haters. I mean, you get people that I get a ton of comments saying, they wish I come off as I wish I had a 1LE. I'm jealous that I didn't. Too broke to afford a Corvette. I got that one more so when I had my SS1LE. But regardless, besides the point, this is a perfect video that I was going to do a reaction to, or it's going to allow me to explain why I went stayed Camaro. Before we get into it, like the video, you guys know what to do. Come on, show some support. If you're not subscribed, over half of you are not subscribed and you're still watching. So what the hell? What's it going to take? It's free. Come on. Do it. And also, I'm going to ask the support of the older generation, and I'll get into it here a little bit why. If I say something or you see something or maybe even your own interpretation of something that you can give a spin off of, leave it in the comments below, because I think that we're supposed to guide the younger direction in a path, or kind of set an example for them that that we're supposed to leave the world a better place than what we found it as. So, and I'm trying to show that it's okay to be content. It's okay to enjoy what you have, live your life, and because nothing's guaranteed, and you just never know. So let's get into it. This guy's name is Pejman Gadimi. I think I said that right. I know he bitches a lot that people mess his name up about it. I might have just did it. I don't know. Maybe I got it. Pejman, if you see this, comment. But anyways, he runs a YouTube channel, Exotic Car Hacks. The guy is smart, and he speaks a lot of truth. And this is a video of truth. And this is kind of peeling back the curtain and a roadmap to the levels of social acceptance in life. And it's accurate to me as far as the levels that I've seen. And I'll react, and I will pause it, and I'll come back and I'll explain. I'll break down what I think is fact and what I think is false. Come on, Pejman.
So trust comes from qualifiers. What we wear are qualifiers. Where we drive are qualifiers. Where we live are qualifiers. Like, people network with people that are like them. So generally, the reason networking works well if it's very targeted, like, hey, this is a real estate conference, is because the qualifiers, you have to be in real estate, right? The reason networking works at a watch trading conference for us is because the qualifier is you have to be a watch trader or have a watch, right? Like, so people have a common interest, and that becomes the qualifier.
And that's going to be common thread, cars, anything that brings people together. He's not wrong. They are qualifiers, but I think that there's a lot more importance placed into those qualifiers. And I think that this trust that he's talking about is more of a sizing you up. It's more of a judgment than anything. I stand that trust is built from character, common bond, and it's something that is built throughout a duration of time. It's a level of respect.
The level of qualifier defines the level of trust. So people identify trust in their life based on the qualifiers they can identify with. So in other words, a poor person may identify a qualifier with a Lamborghini, period. Like, anything that is a Lamborghini badge is going to be a qualifier for a poor person because they don't understand money anyways, right? So they see a Lamborghini badge, they see an aspirational message for themselves. They said, this is what I want too. This person has what I want. I heard I should take advice only from people who I would trade shoes with. I want a Lamborghini. I want to know what this guy does.
Boom. This is the part that bugs me. I'm going to get back in your face here. This is the part that bugs me, because usually chicks are really good at this, but these people in consumerism, they really know what you want to hear. And I don't want to say it's predatorial, but it's a whole lot of looking past your face and talking directly to your emotions. Like, they virtue signal, dog whistle, whatever you want to call it, same shit in my book. It's consumerism. And I think that this is where a lot of people fall for it. I really don't see a problem with driving my Camaro. A lot of people might look down on it. The thing ran a 716 at the ring. There's a lot of supercars that can't do that, which cost 10x what that car does. And to me, I think you need to know what is important to a person. I think you need to understand what's important to you personally. And to me, it's the physical aspect of acceleration, handling. What is this car physically capable of? Some people just buy stuff just to say they have it. Just they let it sit in the garage with no miles on it. Don't even, they might fire it up every once in a while. And to me, that's no fun. Like, I'm not going to make a payment on something and not use it. It's stupid. I'm not saving it for the next guy. I'm not, it doesn't make any sense to me. Sometimes I think that people like this, he gets into it and he's talking millions and millions and millions of titles, 20 million, I think he said in this video before. But I think people like this are so far out of touch of reality and what the common person goes through. When we have recessions or any kind of, financial crisis in this country, and trust me, it ain't looking good, man. It ain't looking good, because have you seen our national debt? It is just taking off like crazy. Can't go forever. And that bill's going to come due, and these people are the first ones to scream. Now I'll tell you before we go any further here in the story, and it's only a couple minutes more. So before I bought OJ, I had this mentality. I was all about it, man. I'm all in. Fuck. I whatever it took to get to that next level. As soon as you start making $100,000 or six figures or whatever. I think it was before COVID, but I went, and I'll put pictures up here, but I didn't want to load them into StreamYard, but I went and I almost bought a Lamborghini. It was a Gallardo. And to this day, they're talking price tag. Like, to me, when I look at a car, I look at the actual character of the car, like the car. I'm not looking at, this one cost $400,000. This one cost $700,000. Well, this one must be cooler because it cost $1 million. Well, this one's $2 million. Well, now you're getting into 8 figures. Must be cooler, right? No, that's not how it works. But to people like this, and I'm not saying this about Pejman. Well, maybe a little bit. He showed some examples of it, but I mean, he is able to like zoom out and take a look at some cars and appreciate them for what they are. And he does say a lot of smart stuff on his channel, but people like this look at money or business growth or scaling anything like it's a fucking video game. It's just a number. I want the big score. What is your score? So to me, I just can't get on board with that. Like I said, ZL1 1LE, 716 at the ring for, in 2019 when I was comparing it was probably like $66,000. I think you could get into a ZL1. This is before everything went psychotic, but that's a whole nother video for a whole, another time. But before prices went psychotic, I think you could get into like a ZL1 1LE for like $67,000, $68,000 pretty comfortably. You could wheel and deal back then, but it's a ridiculous amount of car. As Camaro, did we get lucky that, Cadillac had adopted or built such an amazing chassis? Yeah. I mean, is that really the backbone of it? And is that why that car is so amazing? Pretty much. Yeah. But it doesn't matter. We got what we got. And Camaro 6, there was a lot of examples where it was faster than Corvette. And we all know that the lower tier or the cheaper model really, GM doesn't like it when it outshines Big Brother. So, yeah, because cool's supposed to cost money. In some ways it does, but this aspect, no. Because even still, I appreciate a Gallardo, more so than a Mercy or a Diablo. I never really understood the Mercy life. Aventador, if I was going to buy an Aventador, I would probably want a 2012 to a 2014 without the touchscreen, because people like this want the touchscreen. They think that the big fat sticker MSRP equates to resale down the road. I get it, but that's just not how I think. And I think, you know, with I talk to a lot of people on my channel, and I think that there's a lot that agree with me. And like I said, you know, going back to that Gallardo that I was looking at over in Chicago, it was, so when I got there, you know, it was $100,000, and as a matter of fact, the payments on that Gallardo were going to be cheaper than my Z01. Z01's faster. It had a warranty. It was brand new. You know what I mean? Was it as collectible? Not by a long shot. Not by a long shot. Is it as desired? By me, yeah. Because, I mean, I'll show you a picture of it up on the stand, and the AC compressor was out when I got there. I didn't really need to drive the car for this stupid reason. I think the car had like 32,000 miles on it, and it was an 04, I believe. So, yeah. 32,000 in almost 20 years. So the car, you know what I mean? The car barely got drove, but it was enough for me to believe that it was going to be like a, you know, more so dependable car, because I wanted to buy something to drive. I wasn't just going to park the thing, but I was standing there and I was looking at it, and I'm like, you know, the thing's already freaking broke down. And, I mean, if you really look at that picture even closer, the mechanic had to have a hood prop holding the engine cover up, because the hood struts, the gas was, you know, the hood struts were already freaking leaking. And I'm sitting here and I'm looking at it like, you know, these Italian cars, they're known to have problems, but this was supposed to be Audi's first venture as far as like, you know, owning or being in the same Volkswagen Audi group with Audi. And I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm like, you know, the AC compressor was $6,500, and I'm sitting here like $200, because I was looking at parts, you know, because my full intention was to work on this thing myself. I was thinking Audi, everyone's saying Audi's extremely reliable, but I was sitting there and I'm just like, I'm already $10,000-$12,000 sitting here looking at stupid things, you know, what if the brakes are bad, blah blah. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, this ain't not, you know, you get to peel the curtain back a little bit, and I was looking at it and I'm just like, this sucks all the freaking fun out of it. I called around, it was like $3,500 just to tune the thing. And, you know, at the time, I think prices have went up now. It's closer to like $4,500, $5,000. But, you know, to put the Camaro on the dyno, it's like $600-$700. So it's, you know, there's a value thing there, but to me, owning a foreign really wasn't that appealing to me. I've always liked domestic muscle, and I sit there and it's cool. And I'll tell you this right now, it's cool until you get there. And then when you get there, it's a whole different perspective. And it's like, is this really what I want? I mean, is this the path I want to go down? So these qualifiers, if you're absolutely trying to make it to the next rung and you're trying to climb the ladder of society, because I mean, people, you know, you can back me up here, but if you get to meet a lot of these people, they're freaking dorks. Sorry. I mean, that's what it is. They're freaking dorks. It's nobody that I would really want to hang out with. Do they own a lot of companies? You know, cause it's, you know, it's not just like one small business. They own like 5, 6, 7, 10 small businesses, you typically. And I sitting here and I'm just like, are you smart? Yeah. But is it somebody that I really like want to text and, you know, want to be my friend? No, it's so that immediately made me change my perspective on things. And I really took a look inward, and it made me kind of reevaluate what's really important. So I'm telling you, if you're chasing this shit, if you're having this mentality, this mindset, only you can change it. But I'm telling you, it's not half of it. You're going to feel like a fool. You're gonna feel like a fool because I mean, once you get to the top, or once you get to the point to where you feel like you're starting to get somewhere or you've made it, it's like, yikes, man, yikes. No. So let's keep going. I'll finish it out here.
They don't know how to qualify because they don't understand money. So that's why people fall for scams. Typically, what we teach at Exotic Car Hacks Watch Trading Academy is how to read money. So a big part of it is, you know, when someone's wearing an AP, that there are levels to the game. There's a
little shameless plug there, right?
10K AP and there's $1 million AP. You know, which one is that guy wearing? Does it make sense? And these qualifiers have to add up. Like, we can always know someone's wearing a fake watch when they're wearing a $600,000 Richard Mille and driving a Mercedes E-Class. We know that doesn't make sense, like, because these qualifiers aren't aligned, right? Like, we know in order of importance, someone that lives in a crappy apartment, drives a normal E-Class, is not going to wear a car, a watch that is 3 times, or I should say 15 times the price of a car and 3 times the price of their apartment. You know, like
see, this stuff like this kind of bugs me. I do not want a house. Just within the past 5 years, the average cost of a home was like I believe it was like 210. It's just over $200,000. That was the average cost. Within 5 years, we are at over 415 grand average. This is consumerism 101. This is exactly how they get, one of us. And they get everybody to run like cattle, and everybody hyper obsesses over one thing. Well, I gotta have a house, I gotta have land, I gotta have a car, blah blah blah, you know. And this is how prices get way the hell out of control. Now, now as far as real estate and everything, is there a lot more going on behind the scene? Absolutely. And I'm not going to touch base on that because I don't have 100% of the details, but it's disgusting. It's disgusting. But I'm telling you, do what you can to be around the owners, the cars themselves, because you can just normalize this stuff in their head. And I hate using that word because it reminds me of just some of the stupid shit I've seen on, you know, other social media platforms. But you can just normalize the stuff in your head. Be like, yeah, it's just Lamborghini. Gives you a total different outlook. Is your money safer there? Yeah, I would say yes. But money, video game, number. Are you living life? Are you trying to play it safe? You know what I mean? Are you in it for experiences? Are you in it for safety? Or are you in it for an image? Are you in it for... Because I don't want to just have something to say, oh yeah, I got this car and you don't. Everybody gets on my ass about my ZL1 and how they want to see the car and they want to see... Then go buy one. It's within Obtainium. You can go buy a salvage one. You can go buy, you know what I mean? There's deals coming up all the time. These cars are getting longer and longer in the tooth. They stop making them now. I mean, you will have your opportunity to buy one. Go buy one. And it sounds to me like you know exactly the kind of content you want to make. Make your own videos and put them up on YouTube. I don't know what else to say about that. So let's keep going. I'm going to let them finish out because we're getting to a couple more good parts.
Like, it doesn't make sense. So trust comes from aligning your qualifiers and making sure that people realize that there isn't something missing. Meaning, if you see my $20 million car collection and then you say, well, but he lives in a crappy one-bedroom apartment, well, that wouldn't be a qualifier. It would be a distrust item, right? However, if you say, well, PJ has multiple homes and he has this, and I've also seen I've seen his cars, I've seen his jets, I've seen his watches. Everything lines up. Everything.
Guys, that's just shit. And when I say shit, I mean stuff. It's material items. It all comes back to the video game. And it tells me exactly where your interests are. I want to own everything. I got to have everything. I have the car because it's part of my image. It's part of the qualifier. It's not who I am and what I really am truly about.
Everything is aligned to the point where it's like, yeah, well, everything makes sense. Like he has these kind of watches, but he has this kind of cars, and he's a watch and car guy. So the qualifiers are the key. And often the guys that basically fail at creating trust are the guys who aren't authentic, because those aren't their qualifiers. Basically, they're borrowing qualifiers or they're buying them temporarily. Like I know Forex traders that are buying expensive cars, but they don't have the credit to own these cars. So they're buying short-term leases to basically drive them for 3 months, do 10 years of content basically in those 3 months, then get rid of the cars. So they're basically borrowing the cars. Those aren't their qualifiers. They're pretending.
This sounds like frustration more than anything. Sounds like he's trying to put somebody on blast. I mean, are there a bunch of fakes? Yeah, I don't even understand that whole world, but I'm gonna let him keep going here for a little bit.
To qualify the level they're not, right? But you can tell this in 2 seconds, because if you look at their house, if you look at the neighborhood, if you look at the other cars they have, right? Like their carry cost, it doesn't line up. And you know, one of the reasons you know how someone's qualifier is wrong is also based on where they acquire these qualifiers from. For example, like someone getting a qualifier from a buy here, pay here car lot, you know, just because they can't have the credit, tells you everything you need to know that they don't qualify for that. They're trying to basically be in a place they don't. They're not interested in actually being the person, so they don't want to fix their credit, have the right down payment. They just want the item, so they're trying to, in an unauthentic way, qualify for something they're not. And
we've all seen that. We've all seen that, and that's way at the bottom of the it's glaringly obvious.
And that's where distrust comes in, and people go, that's a scammer, or that's shady, or that doesn't make sense, you know? That's one of the reasons I always expose my titles, show my license plates, and I go, these are my cars registered to me, here are my titles. That's $20 million in titles. Like, you can't fake that. The quality of your character isn't gonna be seen by people without the qualifiers. So you
False. That is wrong. We all know that. That is wrong. Unequivocally bullshit. The character of your personality is recognized through a relationship. Relationships takes time, and that's a matter of decisions, how a person moves through life, how they articulate sentences. How do they judge you? Are they there, you know, through good times, bad times? That is character. That, you know, nah. You can't judge somebody's character through bullshit. You just know what they like or what they think other people want them to think that they like. So that's what they acquire. It's just stuff.
So you have to think of this as you're trying to get in a club. You might be an excellent dancer and the funnest guy, and everyone in that club is going to be glad they let you in the door, right? But you're not going to get in that club if the bouncer thinks you're broke, you dress like a hobo, and basically don't fit in to the crowd they want. So even though your character might be flawless, you might be the best dancer, the most fun guy, you might spend hundreds of thousands on drinks and, you know, be the life of the party, and everybody should be kissing your ass once you leave that because it was the best night of their life. It doesn't matter if before you even get in the club, people don't let you in.
Fuck the club. That's not my club, not my scene. And I was immediately able to recognize that. Bye. It's no big deal. Like with my channel, you'll see the growth is slow because Camaro is a cheap entry. Well, it's a lower barrier of entry. The cost of admission, I guess I should say, is a lot lower. So I got more people to sift through. So my channel, I have to gatekeep. If I catch any funny shit or anything, I'm blocking you. Block. I'm all about it. Because I know myself and I know my character, and I don't want in the club. I do not want in the club. Because here's the thing is, there's so many people that are fighting, willing to do anything to get in the club. And it's so sad to see because it's almost, to me, it feels like a waste of life. Just a waste of time, waste of resources, a waste of money. It's just a waste of energy, everything. So my thing is like, comes down to resources. It's kind of like EVs. Okay. Now I know there's a couple people that that are gonna watch this and be like, "Well, I'm into EVs. I like EVs. Maybe you need to have a more open mind, a better approach about it." No, fuck that. Because listen, in life, you're only gonna make so much money. You're only gonna be 25 once, 35 once, 45 once. You only get one time to go on this ride. So listen, you're only gonna get so many resources. And I'm not going to waste my resources or my piece of pie going down a direction I think is not worth it. It's not it. It's a dead end. I've said it since the beginning. It's a dead end technology. So that's money that I could have put towards building something cool that I know for a fact that I would enjoy. That's why I have this channel, because it creates a space for the people that understand this. They're talking about people that, the bouncer can recognize a fake or a phony or whatever. This is why C8 is going to be, it's going to be a hard road to hoe for C8, because Corvette's always been a hack. It's always been kind of the walk around, the cheap supercar, the cheap supercar performance levels at a far cheaper price. That's probably a better way to put it. But C8, it was benchmark off of a 458. I mean, it's a wannabe through and through and through. Everybody, when they first saw him coming out in 2020, they were like, "Oh, it looks like a Lamborghini. It looks like a Ferrari." I know you've heard that. I've seen it in the comment section. But the thing is if it's benchmark off of something else and it's built to be like something else, and it drives like a 458, or you know what I'm saying, it's not authentic. It's not itself. It's always going to be a fake, a phony, an outsider. And that's fine, but stacked on top or coupled with Global B, they got the GPS, microphones listening to you, cameras watching you, they're reporting you. GM just got caught selling all people's data, blowing stop signs, traffic lights, anything and everything. Sold it to insurance companies. People's rates started going up. They had a class action lawsuit, got sued over it. The thing is that fake and phony, C8's going to have a hard life. It's going to be a hard road to hoe, because the transmission's weak. The transmission, nobody has. Well, I've heard maybe one company has control over it, but it's just one obstacle after the next, after the next, after the next with that car. And even at the end of the day, it's just this SMC bathtub. You can't rear bumper delete it. You can't make it look cool. The only thing you can do is add crap to it. Maybe it'll look different. Maybe it will. But even then, they fought like hell to get, the ECM Act. So that way, there is tuning available. So that's a whole nother, maybe Pandora's box. It's a whole different can of worms, man. So let's let, Pejman keep going here. But yeah, the club, I'm gonna, if I need a party, I'm gonna call some buddies over. I'm gonna grab a couple bottles of whatever, and I'm gonna stay home and party at home, because yeah, fuck that club.
And that's basically the ideology, is that people don't realize that qualifiers matter, that they like it or not. And there's the other side of it. There's the other side of it where people are like, well, who cares then? It wasn't worth. Well, you're only hurting yourself by avoiding it. You're not hurting other people. You're hurting you, because the club.
You're hurting yourself.
Club is missing out, right, from you being in there, but the club will go on.
Exactly. The club don't give a shit. You need to jump through this hoop. Oh, well, you cleared this hurdle. Oh, here's a new one. Come on. Jump at the carrot.
And your existence will also go on. But what's going to happen that night is you're not going to have a good time, because you're not going to get in the club, right? So, but that club will be there tomorrow, and another life at a partier guy will be at that door dressed correctly, and he'll get in, get it? And he'll make the party work. And what I try to tell people is that you can ignore society all you want, but you can't ignore the fact that the equalizer in society is money. Every country, every single place, it's always money. So it doesn't matter that you like money, believe you should be rich, believe you should showcase you're rich or not. At the end of the day, if society doesn't like you, if society doesn't want you, and if you're not respecting society, like in the sense that you're not participating, then you can't win. You're only adding years and years to your own failure.
That's why you should be a good little bitch. Right? I don't understand how he said that you're going to be at home, you're not going to have a good night, you're not going to have fun. I absolutely know I am. I absolutely know I am. And it's not like I'm anti-society. It's just, I think a lot of society's pretty fucked up right now. I don't think that I need to really do a breakdown analysis on that. I think I think it's pretty glaring obvious at this point as far as what's right, what's wrong. Above all, I just genuinely hope people don't take the bait for this. So you guys comment below. I'm going to leave it there. But Camaro, I think you need to be able to recognize a good thing when you see it. Know yourself. Know what a good thing is. When you see it, stick with it. Stay true to it. And I'll be honest with you, the most adult years of my life, it's carried me through to a lot of happiness. So I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Like the video again. Subscribe on your way out. You guys take care. I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, don't take shit like this seriously. Later.